Congratulations.
Oh, thank you
on
so
your
much.
award. I thought your award would be here on the table.
I'm being silly and modest. It's probably somebody's probably going to.
It's over there, isn't it?
Is it over there?
Isn't that
right?
it?
Oh, we'll keep it over there. I was going to keep it in the toilet because then everybody sees it in the toilet. Is that where you keep your awards? Because you've got
no,
many.
I don't. I have the few that I have managed to get. I have keep them because I went to an American friend's apartment, and they were unashamedly.
There.
And I thought, good for you.
Yeah, why not? We see the Americans.
This English thing of putting it in the loo.
It's so British. You're true. It's true. This movie was great. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I remember Rudolf Nureyev. Yeah. I had a bit of a thing on him because he was so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah. And so unbelievably talented. How do you, as producer and director, find somebody who can play him?
Well, from the start, I felt I wanted a dancer who could act.
Yeah.
I just thought, if I have an actor, quickly we will see that he's not a dancer.
For sure.
I mean, and I'd have to use body doubles, and that's complicated with time, and I wouldn't have much time.
Yeah.
So I had sort of set the target, I want to find a dancer who can act. And we did a huge scout through all of the Russian ballet companies and ballet schools, and found this brilliant young dancer, Oleg Ivenko.
The amazing thing about your character, Pushkin, who is the teacher, is he's almost a little invisible man. You know, he's very gentle. He sort of lets the dancers get on with it, and he does it in a very sort of quiet, unassuming way. But you do the whole thing in perfect Russian.
Well, I had a lot of help. Excuse me. I have a little bit of Russian.
You have a lot.
Я говорю немножко по-русски.
Yes. Watching that show, I love it. It's fantastic.
But I worked with a wonderful lady who helped me to get the little Russian that I have to a higher standard, so hopefully it passes muster.
Oh,
I think to some Russians, they probably hear a slight accent.
But that's okay, that's okay. They love you in Russia.
Well, I couldn't possibly say.
No, they do.
I feel I have a lot of friends in Russia.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed my time working there. I've made another film, actually. They're also in Russian. That's about 3 years ago. So I feel I have really strong personal connections with Russia.
Oh, and do you know what's good about this film? So many people who maybe don't know Nureyev, and he was big like the Beatles.
One of the attractions of the story was the sort of minute-by-minute account of that defection. I always, when I first came across it, I just thought, this is really thrilling cinematic material.
Is that why you wanted to do it? Was it that?
Well, it was that. It was also the character of Nureyev. It was this young boy with this real sense, this ferocious sense of vocation, this drive to realise himself as an artist. I didn't come to the project because I had an interest in ballet. Right. In fact, shooting the ballet was scary because I was way out of my comfort zone. Sure. But I was drawn to it because I was moved by this young boy's intense desire to realise himself as a dancer. He came from a very, very poor part of Russia. He grew up just after the Second World War. Parents had nothing.
He was born on a train.
He was born on a train.
I didn't know. He was actually born on the train.
Show that in the film.
I know, that's the opening scene, and you think, what? I didn't know that. Look how beautiful. Look at that face. Unbelievable. But a difficult guy. A difficult guy, a real diva. I mean,
a real diva and famous for outrageous behaviour, and we try to show that in the film as well.
It comes across. It definitely comes across. As if that all wasn't enough, James Bond is also on the horizon.
Yes.
When do we think it might be out? Do you know?
I know we're shooting this year.
Right.
I can't tell. I genuinely am not being coy. I have not yet read a script, and I don't have a start date. I know that Daniel is playing Bond, and I'm looking forward to starting, I think, sometime in May or June.
It's a huge, big event, isn't it? It's massive, absolutely massive. Could have been you, though, at one point. Were you not considered for James Bond?
Yes, well, years ago, I talked to Barbara Broccoli and indeed her father, Cubby, briefly, but it didn't work out. And I think, actually, Pierce Brosnan, who's fantastic Bond, played it, which was great. And I actually feel, on reflection, that I probably will. I'm happy playing M. Yeah, and I think Daniel is a brilliant Bond.
And who knows who will be after Daniel? Nobody knows.
No, we don't know.
Nobody knows.
Don't know.
There's lots of people that would like Idris Elba and me, but,
but who knows?
Who knows what happens?
It would be fantastic.
You cannot put you in a pigeonhole. I mean, you go from all the movies that we've talked about, Coriolanus to Made in Manhattan. I mean, who's got that range? It's absolutely remarkable. And I remember when you did that, there was a kind of like, they were trying to sort of almost create this romance between you and J-Lo, because that's how they do it over there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Which is crazy. That must have been so weird for you.
They tried to set me up with a false... Fake news, it was. Fake news
back
about
then.
me and J-Lo.
Although, you know what, it could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse, it really could. Yeah. Did you enjoy the whole experience, though, of directing? Is that another direction that you want to go in as well?
Well, I really love... I mean, when you're directing, you're surrounded by amazing people, heads
Yeah.
of department, your cinematographer, your editor, your costume designer, your production designer, and fantastic actors. And I think you're in a wonderful position where you can, of course, you guide them towards realising the film, but also what I learnt from the director Anthony Minghella, who directed The English Patient, which was a very, very extraordinary experience for everyone involved in that, was that what I learned from Anthony was that he really truly took the artistry and the experience of everyone working with him and really would change things because someone had suggested this or that. He would really be fluidly open to what people were offering him.
Yeah.
And I feel that's a really smart way to go forward.
Of course, you're going to get a better movie, aren't you?
Because if you come overly controlled with it has to be this way, I think you can be blind to other more interesting possibilities that people can bring to you.
That's why people love working with you. You let them do that. It's an amazing film.
I am a control freak too.
I know, but that's fine. Like, it really is. It's out next Friday, White Crow.
March 22nd.
And he was a White Crow. He was something.
Biele a Verona's White Crow. It's a sort of similar to Black Sheep.
Yes.
It means outsider, the odd one out. It was apparently what he was teased at school for being Biele a Verona. You're
And
a White
then
Crow.
look what happened. If you want to find out more about him, obviously go see this movie. I loved it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me
A touch
on.
of class on our little show.